Welcome to Module 2 and your mindset and how you're going to create some of the things you want in life with investing, especially with this program, 5 Homes to Freedom. What I want to talk about today is Ken has given you some really good ideas in Module 2. He's talked about multiple ways, more ways than most of you probably know about how you can come up with money for your real estate deals. Now, with my clients, here's a problem that I often run into from many different realms, from sales, from investing, from building a new business, or just helping their families. The problem is not that there are ways out there. And the problem is not only just knowing the ways that are out there. What the problem is believing that you're capable of doing it, or you're believing you're able to do it. So that's what today's topic is going to be on. I'm going to talk about a few things here. One problem might be your beliefs. So one way to think about your beliefs is calling them a paradigm. Your paradigm is almost like a thermostat. It is set at a certain setting, and it might go a little bit above, go a little bit below, but it's always going to come back to that setting. And this is a really important point. And just like our internal body temperature, it's going to be about 36.5, 37 degrees, and it's not going to vary much from there. If it varies too much, in the home, the AC will kick in or the furnace will kick in. In our bodies, we'll either sweat or we'll start shivering. But that's a strength of a paradigm, is that when it's set, it's very, very difficult to break free. Have you ever had the situation where you've tried to lose weight and you actually get some weight off, and you keep it off for maybe a week or two, and then it pops right back up? Or you gain a little bit of weight after a holiday or during a holiday, and then immediately you pop back down again with a little bit of work. That's your thermostat. That's your setting. It tells you something that you believe about yourself. I'm not going to say every single person is the same with weight or whatever. Everyone's paradigms are different, but they play the same roles. Now, this has played roles in humanity too. Last module I talked about flying and the Wright brothers and belief systems and how powerful our imagination and our beliefs are. I'll talk today about another person where beliefs came and played a huge role in their lives. I'm going to talk about Roger Bannister. So in 1954, everyone on the planet believed that no one would ever run a 4-minute mile, a sub 4-minute mile. It just wasn't possible. Humans weren't fast enough. We would never be able to break 4 minutes. Something crazy would happen to our bodies or our physiology. And so there were all these crazy ideas out there. But they were based on the belief system of the day. So again, other people influence us, right? As you learned from Module 1. Well, along came Roger Bannister, and he didn't believe this. He set out to break the 4-minute barrier, the 4-minute mile, and he did. He broke it, I think it was 2 or 3 seconds in 1954. Well, you know what? Up until that point, no one had done it, right? People believed it was impossible. As soon as he did that, there were multiple people that did it. Within the following year or two, there were multiple people that broke the 4-minute mile. People were capable of it. They just weren't realizing their potential. And that's a really important point, that when they didn't believe it was possible, they didn't. When they did believe it was possible, they did. I'll tell you a personal story. I was told in grade 2 that I was mentally retarded. And you know what? I had between 55 and 50% in every one of my core subjects throughout school. I didn't even graduate high school. Now, fast forward a little bit of time, I came back, decided I did want to graduate high school, and I wanted to learn because I became passionate about learning. And guess what? I now have a master's degree in psychology. I went and learned a ton. I love learning, and I realized that I'm actually quite capable. But it's fascinating how a belief sets up our results. So I want you to challenge some of your beliefs right now. I'm going to give you a few ideas. So a lot of people think about their habits. If I just go to the gym more, if I just start reading books more, if I just start doing this, then my life will change. If I just start saving more money, then my life will change. You know what? Listen, habits are good to change, and I'm not against changing habits. At the same time, habits have very temporary value if that's all you're doing. If you're only going after your habit, then you are going to be stopping your growth in many ways. And you're probably going to come right back to that thermostat setting, because your thermostat setting is strong. It's powerful. Having said that, if you go after your paradigm, if you go after the beliefs that you have, you will automatically start changing some of your habits. And this is really interesting to see how it works. It's fascinating. I want you to think about some of the beliefs you have right now about investing and about finding money for investments. So do you believe it's going to be hard? Do you believe that it's $7,500 is too much to live on? That you could really settle for $4,000? These are good questions to ask yourself. So here are your action steps. Pay attention to what people do, how they look physiologically when they say, I can't. Just pay attention to their bodies. My son says this all the time, and my daughter, and my wife and I used to say it a lot too. We've been changing it in our family, and I'll give you an idea for this for yourself as well. But it's fascinating watching my kids. If they say they can't, their feet will be set, planted. Their face will be downcast. Their shoulders will be hunched. They're actually acting quite intelligently at that point in time. Because if they can't, why would they try? It would be insane to try. If somebody said, you can jump off a bridge and survive, and you don't believe it's true, why would you try? That doesn't make any sense, right? So they're actually acting in accordance with their belief, which makes sense. What you have to do is start changing what you're telling yourself. So what we've done in our family is we say, instead of I can't, we ask, how can I? Is there a way? Or I think I can. We watched Thomas the Train a long time ago with our kids. But it's really interesting to watch their demeanor when we say that. As soon as they start saying, I think I can, or what is a way, their feet start moving. They start looking around, seeing if they can find a solution. So just like last week, part of the solution is starting to become more self-aware. And I want you to start becoming more self-aware of just what's going on for you. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to start paying attention to your words. How often do you say, I can't? How often do you say, I don't know how? I'm unable to? Or I don't know, period. What about that's too hard? How often do you say these things? I've got a few questions I want to ask you I want you to ask yourself. What do you believe about money? Do you believe it's hard to get? Do you believe it's easy to get? Do you believe it will make you evil on some level having it? That's a crazy idea, by the way. I'll just let you know right now. Money doesn't change anybody. It doesn't change anybody. People are the same. Money is a tool. Money doesn't have the power to change anybody. What do you believe about other people giving you money? What do you believe about other people giving you money? What do you believe about asking somebody for money? See, if you start asking these questions of yourself and you start understanding where you're coming from, where your beliefs are coming from, you will start to be able to take some action on something. You'll start being able to change something in your life. I want you to play a game with yourself, okay? So this is part 2. First part is become aware of yourself. Pay attention to how often you say things that are destructive for yourself, that tell you what you believe about yourself, and start learning more about what you think about money. And the second thing is, I want you to find a group of friends, your family members, someone around you who you trust. And I want you to start asking them to join and play a game with you. Here's the game. What you're going to do is every time somebody says, I can't, or somebody else can't, or I don't know how, or I don't know, any of those key terms that I basically talked about, what you're going to be doing is learning from each other. Anytime somebody says that, you are going to have something that they have to do. So it might be dancing around in public or doing something crazy. Maybe it is paying money into some kind of jar. That's what we do in my family. So in my family, if the kids are pretty little still, and we don't want to take their money for this, but if they say I can't or I'm unable to, immediately they've got to pick a chore out of the chore jar. And we've made this a positive connotation. It's not a punishment. It's they've done something that hurts the family, and they're going to find something else that helps the family. So often we do chores with them. We help them with it. It costs us all something, but we are all making the house a little bit better. We're making our life a little bit better by doing the chores. If the parents do it, if my wife or I say I can't, or somebody else is unable to, then we pay money into a jar. Now the jar fills up, the whole family looks at it with anticipation. And what we do with that jar is we decide there's some kind of celebratory family event that we'll go on, and we will enjoy that together. So we'll make a choice together. We'll go and celebrate that we're learning about what we can do versus we can't. Now listen, I want to follow up on this a little bit. So we've been doing this for about a year. Last summer, there's a tree swing beside me in the next door neighbor's yard. And I was watching my son out of the corner of my eye. I was working with my daughter and some things. And he was trying to back up on the swing and then jump, leap, and try to get onto the swing before it went down and had a bunch of momentum going forward. He wanted that full momentum. And what I saw, what I heard at the start was I heard him fall. He backed up and he fell, and I heard the thunk. Now, it was grass. It wasn't super hard ground or anything, but I heard the thunk. And I just looked at him out of the corner of my eye, curious about what he would do. And this is what he did. He got up, took the swing again, backed up and said, I think I can, I think I can. He was just whispering it to himself. I think I can, I think I can. And you know what? He failed 2 or 3 more times. I don't remember the exact number. He failed 2 or 3 more times before he actually was able to do it. But as soon as he was able to do it, he called my name. He said, Daddy, watch me. He was so excited. It is such an empowering feeling to get over the things we believe we cannot do in order to realize our goals. It will be empowering for you. So figure out some kind of game like this for yourselves. Learn together. Have fun. Keep it positive. Create accountability. And you're going to be on your way to realizing your dreams in real estate as well.